Yo, bad news for Ryan Garcia. When it comes to the A side, Tank Davis shows there's levels. Tank Davis rapidly outsells Ryan Garcia, and we're going to talk about that. Yes, in a pandemic. What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. Make sure you smash the like button. Also, subscribe to my channel for the latest and greatest in boxing. Jump right into the mix. Shout out to Javen Bay and Leonard Ellerby. I seen CEO of Mayweather Promotions. He responded to it, but I had seen this. Javen posted, basically, people got a hold of the Texas commissions. I think by law they're required to release the receipts when there's events in their state and stuff like that. And I'll show you. We'll Quentin Tarantino it and do it backwards. Leonard Ellerby, he says levels. I'm going to show you the end, and then I'll get to the actual figures. Leonard Ellerby of Mayweather Promotions says levels. Numbers don't lie. Good numbers for Ryan in the pandemic. His gates will definitely get much bigger. So he's not hating. He's not like, putting salt in the wound. But this is in response to the numbers that came out. So these fights all took place last year, except for with the exception of Ryan Garcia's fight. And they took place, within the same few months. Tank fought in October. Errol Spence and Canelo, they both fought in December. Texas gates, these are pandemic gates. Errol Spence, I've already talked about it. He surpassed Canelo's live gate with 2.6 million. Canelo did 2.3 million. Now, in addition to this, I'm not the smartest brother in the world, but Spence's fight was $75 a pop versus DAZN is really $19.99 a month unless you were foolish enough to buy it on cable where they high charge you and charge you more money. So I don't know how many people that wanted to see Canelo versus Caleb Smith would have been foolish enough to pay, $40 more or whatever it was to watch it on TV when you can get DAZN app and, pair it with your TV or mirror it on your TV. So Spence, everything he said, man down. Hey, stop that cat. Big fish. It's looking true. He surpassed Canelo, which, is a big feat because they say Canelo's the face of boxing, but he's getting outsold by Canelo. Now, I'm not going to get too much into that because it takes away from the video, but I will say this. There's a lot of Canelo man fans that are rapidly trying to explain away why this happened. Like, this can't be. How did Errol Spence outsell Canelo in terms of live gate? So they're saying, it's because Errol Spence fought in a bigger venue. But the bigger venue, we have to also consider these are pandemic gates. So the bigger venue doesn't necessarily come into play because you can't max out the venue. So you really think that Errol Spence's live gate would be 2.6 in Jerry's world if he could get a full crowd? I've went to Errol Spence fights. When he fought Ocampo, it was 15,000 plus. Against Sean Porter, 16,000 plus. And against Mikey Garcia, it was like 47,000, 48,000, nearly 50,000. So everybody's gate is affected. All the people you see on the screen, etc. But Errol Spence, people saying, he only surpassed Canelo because he was in a bigger venue. That's not necessarily true because you can't actually pack out the venue and you have to practice social distancing. And some people are fearful to go out in large groups because of the uncertainty of what's going on in the world. So I had to clear that up. So Spence did 2.6. Canelo did 2.3. The boy Gervonta Davis right behind him. His gate is right behind Canelo's gate. His fight with Leo Santa Cruz generated a live gate of 1.47 million. Again, the difference between the two PBC fighters, Spence and Tank Davis, is their fights were actually pay-per-view. I know personally on my channel, I did very successful Boxingego watch parties for both of those fights, Spence and Tank, and I bought the pay-per-view. It was $75 a pop. So I definitely was one of the people who contributed, and I had a great time watching them. The Boxingego watch parties did numbers. So yeah, it versus Canelo, I did one for his fight too, but his fight is on DAZN, which is an app. So it's just a whole different feel. But back to Ryan Garcia. With these numbers from Tank, pandemic live gate, where again, you can't max out a venue, you got social distancing you have to adhere to. He did 1.47. That's a good amount, considering the other top guys, Canelo and Spence, did a little bit over his live gate. Meanwhile, the next month in January, Ryan Garcia fought Luke Campbell, and this is his live gate. 353,835. So you guys have to understand, Ryan Garcia is popular. This is not a terrible number. It's not a bad number. It's cool. But the point I'm making is Ryan Garcia, his popularity, it's hard to leverage. Like, yeah, you see him doing things with Kevin Hart, Coda's Balls. You see him on shows. He got a Gatorade sponsorship. But I just want to show you this. Ryan Garcia, according to his Instagram, has 8.4 million Instagram followers, right? Canelo Alvarez, right? He has less than that at 7.8. But men lie, women lie, numbers don't. Obviously, Canelo's number is higher than Ryan Garcia's number by a lot. So we don't know the right now in 2021, the full social media impact in terms of how many people in boxing at least follow you, and that actually translating into pay-per-view dollars. Or I mean, Ryan's fight wasn't pay-per-view, but you guys get what I'm saying, like merchandise sales, people buying the app, stuff like that. And I seen in Ryan Garcia's fight, he did have some gaping holes. Ego Stradamus strikes again. This is what I said before. I said I seen empty spaces. Now we understand why. So again, I'm not saying this number to ream Ryan Garcia. These are solid numbers. The other people his age group probably aren't doing that. The point of this video is, one, it's factual, and then two, just to show you guys an outline. Tank Davis, he got 2.7 million followers, but he's lit, versus Ryan Garcia has 8 point something, but he ain't doing the numbers that Tank is doing, Canelo's doing, Spence is doing. So this must be understood. A lot of people, and listen, miss me with all the soft stuff in boxing. There's a lot of people who they do nothing but A-side arguments, talk about the business, and they do it unless it doesn't suit their agenda. I talk about all numbers, purses, everything that pertains to boxing. I'm going to talk about it. But now you're going to see old media crying. It was crying in there, talking about, oh, why are you talking about Ryan Garcia, Luke Campbell numbers and, this, that, and the third. And I'm saying it to illustrate points that I've made and to show you the realities and to inform the public. Tank, people say that Ryan Garcia is the A-side over Tank. People said Teofimo was the A-side over Tank. But these dudes aren't doing the same accolades that Gervonta Davis is doing. Men lie, women lie, but numbers don't. You could look at numbers. I've been at Tank's all of his last fights except for the Leo Santa Cruz fight. Baltimore, packed, lit, right? He fought in LA against, it was supposed to be Abner Matas, lit. Had celebrities out, Drake, Birdman, Lil Wayne, OBJ, Odell, he had people out. Ryan Garcia, at best, you've seen his fight with Luke Campbell, boxers there, Canelo was there, Teofimo Lopez. So he's working on his star power. He does have a popular brand, but again, there's more than meets the eye. It really reminds me of Anthony Joshua versus Klitschko. You got a fight like that, and in the UK, they're like 90,000 people in the Wembley, and it looks good on paper, but the reality is Wilder versus Tyson Fury 2 in Vegas, based on the amount that they could charge for tickets, actually generated more revenue than 90,000 people. So that there's always this confusion. You look at it like some of the bigger fights, 80, 90,000 people in Europe and England, and it looks great having that many people on camera and stuff like that, but ticket prices are different prices. So Floyd Mayweather, he could fight Conor McGregor and only have 14,000 people in Vegas, 16,000 people in Vegas, but he's going to outsell and outperform and ultimately make more money. So people get deceived by numbers because it's really goes down to the argument of quality over quantity. You know, you could have in Vegas a crowd of 15, 16,000 and higher price tickets and generate more of a live gate than 80,000 people, but the tickets are like dirt cheap. You know what I mean? So same thing with Ryan Garcia. When you're looking at Ryan Garcia and Gervonta Davis, you're looking at Ryan Garcia's social presence. It looks bigger than Canelo, bigger than Errol Spence, bigger than Gervonta in terms of pure numbers. Like Errol Spence don't got 8 million followers, you know, so that's good. Look, Errol Spence don't even have 1 million, but I guarantee you he's making more money than Ryan Garcia. See, life is about context. Errol Spence, look, that's crazy. He don't even have 1 million. He don't even have 1 million followers yet, but he's pulling out crowds. He's doing numbers that surpass Canelo. So, you know, you can't be fooled just by social media because, again, Tank did 1.47. Ryan Garcia, he's almost 1 million. He's over 1 million under what Gervonta Davis did. So you got to look at the logistics, people. But anyway, 353K in a pandemic, you know, that's all positive income. It's better than like a small fight card or anything else. So shout out to Ryan Garcia and everybody who had these pandemics. You know, they're probably some of the best. You know, you got to understand some people don't even want to go out yet. So it could be rough for a little bit longer. But some people just know these numbers could be deceiving unless you have all the facts. Let me know what you guys think. Drop your thoughts in the comment section. As always, hate, comment, and subscribe. Till next video is Ego signing off.
So if you enjoyed this video and want more content like this on the channel, you can show your appreciation by going to the PayPal donate button or the YouTube support button, and you can donate any amount that you feel is equivalent to the value of this video. Much more to come. Thank you guys for your support. Boxingego, the future of boxing.